This week, the once exclusive Wii U launch title, ZombiU, goes multi-platform under the title of Zombi. The original release of this game received a fair amount of praise from critics for the way it combined the Wii U's new gamepad with old-school survival horror elements, but the title didn't sell too well, likely due to the low sales of the Wii U as a whole. So today, I'd like to revisit the game and ask the question, did ZombiU deserve more love? ZombiU thrusts players into the standard zombie outbreak environment. The city has been overrun with the infected, and you need to do what you can to survive. While the plot might not have been very innovative, the gameplay certainly was. In my opinion, this game actually had one of the best uses for the Wii U's gamepad. You used it to access your backpack and map, as well as to hack doors, pick locks, and various other actions. What made this so great from a survival horror standpoint is that it forced you to take your attention off the main screen to do things on the gamepad, and these actions didn't pause the game, so you were vulnerable. This forced players to choose their moments to perform these actions very carefully, as to not get overrun by the undead while they were distracted. And the zombies in this game are tough. You get a cricket bat to use as a melee weapon, which can easily take as many as 4 to 5 swings to down one enemy, and even guns, which the ammo was extremely limited for, don't usually drop them with one shot. Combined with variations of these zombies, like ones with impenetrable riot gear, and some that spit acid at you, even just having a couple coming after you felt like a major threat. And with these enemies posing such a threat, chances are you're gonna rack up a few deaths, and the innovation is at its peak here. The game has sort of a permadeath mechanic, as when you die, you come into the game as a new character. This is a big deal as there are RPG elements that allow the character to level up, which don't transfer over once you start a new character. And also, you lose the items you were carrying. Now you can recover those items though, as if you go to the location where you died, you'll find that character has now turned into a zombie, but still has their backpack, so you can kill them and take your goods back. Now for a mostly single-player game, this title is actually pretty social. When you die, you receive a survivor score, and it's based on your kills and time survived. When you go into new areas, you can find the leaderboards for the day typically displayed on the wall or floor. I felt this feature was subtle enough to make you want to get a higher score without infringing on the horror environment. And that's not where the social element ends either. As you progress through the game, you can come across the zombies of other players who have died. It will display their username and survival score for that run, and by killing those zombies, you can loot the items that player had on them at the time. I've got to say that it's a pretty unique feeling seeing the zombie of one of your buddies coming at you, and having to put them down to snatch all their goodies. Now sure, ZombiU had a lot of unique mechanics, but is it still good from a survival horror standpoint? Well, in a time when many survival horror franchises like Resident Evil have gone in a more action-oriented direction, ZombiU dials the pace back a little, and is more reminiscent of the survival horror games of old. Resources are extremely limited, and you'll have to use them to their max potential to get by. With the zombies in this game being pretty strong and tenacious, it only takes a few swarming you to put you in a state of panic and perhaps cause you to waste a little bit of your ammo. And these environments are fairly varied. Your journey through London will take you everywhere from the city's sewers to the halls of the glorious Buckingham Palace. Of course, all these locations have been redecorated a bit with the blood and guts of past residents. Now with all this said, ZombiU is not without its flaws. Simply put, the game feels like it was rushed out the door a bit to make it in time for the Wii U launch. The variety of weapons feels kinda limited, especially with the cricket bat being the only melee option. And while I get that darkness sets a horror tone, this game is a bit too dark, likely done to hide the subpar graphics for a game released in 2012. It also suffers a bit from some frame rate issues that were improved a bit, but are still present in the game. But these issues are minor, and they don't hold back the game experience too much. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I really love this game. It brings new elements to survival horror while keeping the gameplay reminiscent to the games that made me fall in love with the genre. Hopefully this franchise will find new life as it's brought over to more platforms, as I really felt like it deserved a sequel after laying such great groundwork in this game. And if you're a Wii U owner and you haven't checked this game out yet, I highly recommend you do, as it sells for dirt cheap nowadays. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Let me know your thoughts on ZombiU in the comments. As always, I'm John Zaccari, and thanks for watching.
Oh, for Christ's sake, why'd you go and die on me?